Okay, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Center for the Less Good Idea and into the other space, and to this evening's presentation of The Open Moment. My name is Athena Mazarakis, and I'm the Momenteur of SO, the Academy for the Less Good Idea. And the Open Moment is one of the formats that fall under the Academy. The Open Moment can take a number of manifestations. The one is that it can come out of a workshop process or a rehearsal process where we literally open the doors for an audience to see where that process is at, where that production, that workshop, that rehearsal is at. The other place that the Open Moment features is coming out of a mentorship or a workshop process. So what you're about to witness this evening is the latter. So it's an open moment where we open the doors for a mentorship that's been happening here over the last 3 days, entitled Thinking in Instant Composition. So we give all of our mentorships that title, Thinking In, because we believe that we think through doing when we are practicing our art in whatever discipline that might be. So it is an opportunity to trouble, to think through, to interrogate through the doing. And when I hand over to Lucia, she'll tell you a little bit more about what instant composition is. But suffice to tell you that these wonderful 13 participants, who are a range of performers, actors, dancers, choreographers, theatre makers, physical theatre performers, have really been with each other for not even full 3 days. So 5 days on the first day, well, an hour and a half on the first day, 5 days on the second, and from 12 o'clock today. What you're about to witness is a moment of opening this process that they are in. It is a process of learning. It is a process of discovery. This is by no means a performance. So I'm going to emphasize that, so I'm giving you a little bit of a lens to look at this evening's presentation through and to witness in that way. It's not a performance. It is actually incredibly brave and courageous of them, because they are opening the doors to a moment of learning as practicing artists, where they're really stretching themselves and encountering a different way of approaching work. So I invite you and I implore you to sit here with very open hearts and a very open and receptive nervous system, and one that is empathetic, because everything will be unfolding for them in the moment as it will be for you. And of course, having many eyes on them might want to make them perform, but they're going to work very hard to stay in this moment of discovery and learning and extension. So basically, you're in on this last leg of the mentorship process. So I invite you to be open, kind, and receptive. I'm going to hand over to Lucia. Lucia is an extraordinary movement artist, Alexander technique teacher and trainer who travels all over the world, training Alexander teachers, teaching movement, teaching Alexander. And I said it at the start of our workshop, but having known Lucia for many years, she is someone who really has great wisdom about what it is to live inside a body in an integrated way, and then what that means to bring that to creation and to the act of performing. So we are delighted to have you here, Lucia, and it's been extraordinary to have you with us for the last 3 days. I know Lucia is going to introduce the participants to you. I also want to introduce you to our wonderful musician and percussionist, and one of the players really tonight as well, Stompie Selibi, who will be with us. And with that, I ask you just to make sure that your phones are on silent or switched off, and enjoy the evening, and I hand you over to Lucia.
So for some people, instant composition, you might think, what does that mean? And it's a term we use close to improvisation, but sometimes people think of improvisation in movement or in theatre as what you mess around with to find material. So it is that as well. But for me, I've been quite a long time from a movement background, exploring it as performance. This isn't a performance, as Athena said, but you'll see how it's close to it. And what I'm curious about, and continue to be curious about, is what do we need to practice to be in a state to make decisions in the present, on stage, or actually in life. We're doing that all the time, we don't even notice. But the compositional aspect is looking, for me, mainly in movement, at space, at rhythm, at relationship, at all those things that create a movement or theatre piece or a choreography. So I don't, and you'll see with the actors or participants, we don't look at specific movements, but more an exploration of how do you get into a particular state of presence, let's say. Because for me, whether it's choreographed or theatre work or improvisation, I realize that what I really like to see is people who are fully experiencing what they're doing, not just doing it and sort of showing me something, but they're actually experiencing what they're doing, and then I'm invited in. So I hope that'll happen. And the other thing in everyday life and performance that I aspire to, let's say, is this balance. I call it, for shorthand, calm and lively. It's actually a balance of the nervous system, so that it's not like, oh, I'm so relaxed, like people go, if I'm not nervous, I'm a bit worried. I don't want to be so relaxed that I'm not here, and nor do I want to be in a fight or flight response of like, go, 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 action, action, action. Even forget the microphone. That when we can get the nervous system kind of integrated so that we're calm but ready and awake, you see it sometimes in children, in animals, in performers that draw you. I think whatever they're doing, they're not stressing and don't care. And that relates also to tone in the body. So as a movement artist, largely a movement artist, I'm also really curious about getting a full range of tone that's possible. In everyday life, mostly we want, like, not too much. We don't want to be so full of tension, and we don't want to be over-relaxed. And it's actually the same in dance, where we want to be able to have something that's soft here or something that's strong, all those possibilities. I'm not sure if I've left anything out. Oh, I know. So it's been a process of practicing some of those things and then focusing on, and we'll say a bit more about it later, what I call scores, which is not a musical score. It's a structure into which you can improvise. And we use them in teaching as well. It's like go from there to there. That's sort of a score. Or take 3 minutes, or have 4 people. And you'll see some of the ones that I introduce and that the cast, we'll call them the cast, the participants have written. And we can talk a little more about that later. So we'll begin by just a small amount of warm-up into some of the movement games and explorations. And as well as seeing kind of with your eyes and with your narrative or looking for story or emotion, I invite you to see with kind of all of yourself too. It's like, oh yeah, actually that's more peaceful, or that's more lively. Just before we start, though, we have to keep on. Shall I pass the mic? It's probably best, yeah. It would be nice to hear a name, everybody's name, and maybe 1 word or up to 3 words, and this is something we do as reflection. But I think what we'll ask for now is 1 to 3 words about something you've been reminded of, or something you've learnt, or some quality you've had access to. So it doesn't have to be new, but just what pops out now.
My name is Joziah Wheeler. Excuse me. Words, play still takes practice. That's forward. Yeah.
Hello, my name is Toby Ngomane. turning inside, playing inside. Yes.
Hi everyone, I am Mkutaji Njia, and my words are the space where failure and success are not relevant, which Lucia gave us.
Hi everyone, my name is Tembiso Kalishwayo. Exploring never stops.
Hi everyone, my name is Ndlovu. My words are playfulness and freedom.
Hey everyone, my name is Lillian Malulyck. My words are practice, play, pause.
Hi everyone, my name is Uvile Ximba. My words are in versus out.
Botani igama lam Aalliyah Zama Matintela. My words are ukudlala ngomzimba.
Dumelang ke Dimakatso Motholo and resurrection, trust, nostalgia.
Sure. My name is Sinenhlanhla Mgeyi. Finding truth in micro movements. Sure.
Thulani Chauke. Memory, play, lesson.
Dumela, Jaden, Mmokwa, Oratile, Mosadi. It doesn't have to be good, it's just an idea.
Sanbonani, I'm Sami Maseko. Honesty, joy, and honesty and joy.
I've just remembered something else I did want to say. In just great gratitude to work in this space, both its space and its ethos, because the ethos for me really relates to this work in that if you have too many good ideas, there's not space for the less good idea or the emergence of something you don't know. And that's kind of what we're looking at, actually editing some of our good ideas, because we're all full of them. And going, okay, if I hold back, there's a bit of a chance that something else can emerge from the collaboration. So if you want to come to your feet and just spread out. Close your eyelids. And notice what you notice. You know where you are. You know this time you're being observed, but you have the ground under your feet, the space above your head, the noises out in the street, your own breath. And you're just going to begin to move with the smallest movements you can feel. They may not be visible. And you can really choose whether it's in the whole body or one limb at a time, or your tailbone, or your eyes. But just making your choosing movement, and you're allowing yourself not to feel a big stretch or a big anything, but the smallest movement you can feel. And if you notice, which you probably will, that quite quickly there's a wish to move more, see if you can notice and relish that wish, but keep it small. Maybe you travel through the whole of your system, your bones, your soft tissue, your nerves, your blood, your breath, finding the sensation of movement and beginning to let it get a little bit bigger. So it's beginning to be about the size of, if you're listening to your headphones at a bus stop or something. And you're beginning to move. Notice it's effortless to notice movement and to move. So it's like you're allowing it rather than pushing it. And for the moment, this might be against the habit of dance training or theatre training. You're keeping it soft, as though you don't want to disturb the air. And let it get a little bit bigger. How do the joints move? How does your balance shift? How does your head move on the top of your spine, between your ears? Beginning to include a weight transfer, maybe from foot to foot, so the movement of balance becomes involved. And even letting it get a little bigger, and as it gets a little bigger, introduce the idea as though you were dancing to a melody. We're dancing to Stompie, and it's a little different, but that there's phrasing in your movement. It's not all just a flow. It's like sentences, stops and starts. And as it gets that kind of big and your head begins to orient in different directions to the space, begin to let your eyelids open sometimes, a kind of reverse blinking. And just let the view in. You might find there's like an after image of the lights. You see your own body in your peripheral vision. You see the other bodies in the space. Beginning to open the eyes a little more. Until eventually your eyelids are open most of the time. And you're blinking normally, which means you don't notice it, like the breathing. You might notice you stop breathing. As we open the eyes, the sympathetic nervous system wakes up, that excitement. Keep the calm. Of course, you begin to be able to travel. So the last few minutes of the warm-up, your eyelids are open. You begin to travel and begin to explore those levels right down to the ground. Maybe even the touch of the ground and the support of it. And seeing each other, beginning to see each other as you feel the ground and travel through space and relish your own movement. and up the energy even more. Can you keep that calm, that support of the ground, that soft eyes seeing each other? You really up the energy. Still with pauses, phrases. Last 30 seconds. High energy until you come back to standing. And I don't think our audience needs quite so much space, so don't feel you can't use the front of the space. All together as though the heat was being turned down under the pot. We're going to lessen the energy to end up standing. And see where we are, what it's like where you're standing. What's the view from there? What's the arrangement? How are you? Do you feel more awake, less awake, more hot? Maybe you can feel your heart beating. And we'll just move into that game exercise, let's call it score, that I called cows in a field, because it's just walking and stopping, joining someone, going backwards sometimes, going faster or slower. Don't let yourself get bored because it's simple. Keep it interesting so you know about the pattern. And it can also include a sitting. So sitting, standing, going backwards, going faster or slower. And we're here, we're really remembering and playing with this balance between choice and chance. So we choose to go somewhere, someone else might be doing it, and we can't make that happen. So you're open to coincidence. Keeping it simple. Keeping it simple. Enjoy the pattern. Both your part in it. And let's introduce into this the me game. So just as a reminder, at a certain point, you might notice here you are, kind of on your own in the space, or you suddenly want it. You call the attention, like me. Everyone stops and looks. I'm doing it already. And you either talk or move while you're being watched. And Stompy's playing too.
Me.
And let's remember, or try again, a few of one of the first scores we did. So going straight from that, inviting, being seen, having an idea emerge. This one is, in a way, the first step towards more collaboration, but to quieten the performative eagerness. We're going to do it with eyes closed. So the 3 people, 3 minutes, eyes closed, but with a commentator. So let's make a sort of big semicircle, and yeah, or even a circle, just so there's, yeah, have a little bit of circle. 3 people. I do need that little timer. Thank you. And how do you stop it? Okay. So you have your eyes closed. If you get sort of anxious or lost, you can always do a little reverse blink.
The nerves keep on going, they keep on going. I'm not sure what, it's the nerves. I can move, I can move, but I just need to stay here and just reach for something, trying to find it, trying to grab it, just that touch. I miss that touch. Any support for me? Hello? Hello, is anyone there? Hello? It's that touch. But the nerves are always there. I just need to find a way where I can just be with them and just feel and breathe and just connect. Where are they? They were right here. They were right here with me. Where did they go? Where is everyone? Where did I lose it? Did I lose them? The nerves, they keep coming back, and I'm almost there. I can feel their presence. I can hear them. almost the touch. It's there, it's all three of us. Together. Sharing the same thing. Feeling the same way. Don't leave me. Don't leave. Please. They left. They left me.
Just breathing it in and another. I think we can probably got time for 3. Same thing, 3 minutes, 3 people. Eyes closed. You can commentate, yes.
Kwasuka-sukela kulali ekude kwakhona izilwanyana ezintathu enye yayinde ithanda uzixelela ababini babevana besitshomi kodwa ingathi ikhona into abayikhangelayo ingabe lento apha kubo okanye Hayibo lo omde wamba itshomi yomnye wayedwa ingathi bahlukene ubuyele lo omde ukuziva hayibo ingathi lo omnye uphazamisa omnye akazazi bangubani bayakhangelana bayavana kubanjwa nempundu ingabe bazoyifumana nalento bayikhangelayo bethuna hayibo kwaphela ngentsomi
There are moments of being alone. Sometimes sohlukene. Sophakama, solinda, sojonga, sophakanyiswa. There are moments of being alone. And then there are times when skin meets skin. And we find that there is someone close, sometimes someone far. There are moments when we are alone and we are in our rooms, and sometimes the music takes us and we go 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 until we find somebody. Sometimes, the sometimes, the sometimes. Sometimes we are alone, sometimes we are 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1, 3, 3.
So there's the, as you see, some people really know how to see a story. And I meant to say also at the beginning, when you see the next improvisations, feel free as an audience to make your own associations, that we're not telling a story. We're actually letting images and ideas and bits of play emerge. So if you get a memory or a story or something that you enjoy to see, that's fine. There isn't a meaning you have to look for. Just let it be. So we'll go on to some of the written scores. I think someone must have missed that, but we don't have so many, but we don't have so much time. So in this hat are some papers on which the participants have written some ideas like we just did, a number of people, or a length of time, or a theme, or a quality, or an instruction. Because I was mostly getting the chance to give all of those. Who wants to pick?
Finding the moon. 4 people, 1 instrument. Begin seated in a circle facing outwards. Experiment with pace. Everyone ends in fetal position anywhere in the space. Crescent moon with waves. Remember to listen. Oh, it's an image of a crescent moon with waves. Finding the moon. 4 people, 1 instrument. Begin seated in a circle facing outwards. Experiment with pace. Everyone ends in fetal position anywhere in the space. Image of a crescent moon with waves. Remember to listen.
No timing on it, so maybe Stompy and I will, or you can within find an end. Say end, or we will.
Six people. The theme is the Valley of Lost Souls. Duration, 2 people must match pace at all times. Pause, 1 person must always be still. 6 people. 6 people. Count now, 6 people. The Valley of Lost Souls, that's the theme. Duration, 2 people must match each other's pace at all times. And then 1 person must always be still.
Okay, we'll say duration 4 minutes. 4 people, 4 minutes. 6 people, 4 minutes. Maybe just remembering if there were no instructions that voice or language or sound might emerge. The last one, I want to repeat what we just began. So it's a duet. It's mine, basically. Duet, well, trio with Stompie. 2 people. It'll be the last one, sadly. And it's called Here and Now. The movers start. When they finish a phrase, Stompie responds. That's at least 3 times where there's not movement and music together. And then it can emerge, but it's about 3 minutes. Thank you all, and I could watch this for hours, but I'm quite practiced at it. So it's also to notice what your responses are. There might be little moments which you appreciated, but now's the moment, I think. Do you want to help us?
So firstly, can we give everybody a round of applause? So we have a little bit of time for some questions and answers. So if you've been sitting here and questions have been bubbling up to the surface for you, there's a moment to voice those. So please raise your hands and I'll get the mic to you if you don't mind waiting for the mic, and then ask your question, and either Lucia or any of these incredible artists will be able to answer. So any questions? Or observations?
Hi everyone. I'd like to ask the guy that's wearing the shirt that says "Don't do that." Hi. Yeah, you seemed to have been playing a specific character for the first two parts. If you don't mind explaining what that character or who that character was.
The first exercise. I'm not sure about character, but what I felt at that moment, I'm not going to lie to you. So yeah, remember my takeaway from this workshop is finding beauty or truth in micro movements. So that's what I went for. Sure.
Great. Over here a question. It might be a comment or an observation as well. A kind and generous comment or observation.
Hello everyone, my name is Motholo. My question is, I observed at the beginning of this piece, there was like a form of, I don't know, it was respect, or it felt like a moment of well done. So I don't know, it was, I don't know if that has been done before, or it's something that just happened in the moment. It felt very, it looked, yeah.
So let's just pass the mic to Joziah.
So I think with that, a common, sorry guys, no, I don't want to move you, sorry. A common theme, not this weekend, the past 3 days, has been a consensual respect. So to answer your question, in short, no, it hadn't been done before. I think the reason why I reached out to Sami, especially afterwards to make sure that she's fine, there was a lot of contact, and like Lucia made such a gentle space for us to do that. But I personally felt it's still important to check in if she was fine after that. So it wasn't a thing of like, oh, well rehearsed, bro. But it was just, yeah.
Hi everyone, my name is Nomsamith Tabaruisa. So I think it's a question to everyone, and amazing. I mean, you guys were so amazing. My question is, for this short period of time, how were you able to be so comfortable with each other's bodies? Like, from my understanding, it takes time to actually get consent and all that, but with seeing this, it looked like you guys have been rehearsing for like months and months. Yeah, thank you.
I think it's the space itself. It was very inviting. And there's always that bit of fear at the beginning of, am I going to get along with these people? I don't know them. Some of them I know. Some I haven't seen for months or years. And it was just, the space allowed an opportunity for us to be who we are. There wasn't a thing of, oh, what did you major in? Are you a ballet trainer or this and this? It just happened naturally. There wasn't like a sit down and we had to talk to each other and be like, okay guys, I come from this background, I'm this good. It just felt right. And it's 3 days. only so many, less than 10 hours in total, pretty much. And I think it was the ability for our bodies to connect and to understand how we work together. Yeah, I'll keep it at that.
Just also to add that we didn't talk about that, but in contact improvisation, which is something I practice, we're really looking at the bodies in a very, in relation to physics. So it's actually underneath the emotional or the social, and it makes for a lot of ease because we're actually looking at the substance, the relationship to gravity, pressure, touch, with the important issues of consent. But it's like it's another human being, and they feel like me to some degree. So I think that was part of it.
We've got a question in the front.
You know, I wanted to add something to, because Mpolisi asked about, you know, the handshake. But for me, I appreciate you asking me, but it was also my gratitude that made me want to touch Joziah, because it is our first time playing together. And I think that, I hope that you felt the same. I wanted to have that moment to explore with you. And that's the fun that I've been having.
Sure, just another thing. Another thing, credits must be given to Lucia, no? Yeah, for guidance, because some of us start out more, like you easily get carried away. So guidance, I was like, hey man, calm down, sure. And it was not about good. Hey, nature guys, please, take rent, trust me, no. Yeah, so guidance, sure.
Hi everyone. I think I have 3 observations and a question. I'm going to try to be quick. I think the first thing that came to mind was like how reflective, like from the start, it was very reflective of life and the pace in which it starts. So imagine the day starting, the sun rising, and then the hecticness of life, and noticing the necessity of the guiding voice amidst the chaos. So it was kind of chaotic, but because there was a guiding voice, it was like somewhat of an organized chaos. And the musician, beautiful work. Being coming across symbolically like what or where I would place nature to be, sort of serving the rhythm and serving the pace in which we go, and so that's the first observation. Second observation within myself was I noticed how comfortable I was with familiarity and how inviting unfamiliarity was. So whether it was curiosity or like a feeling about the discomfort observed. And then the question I'd like to ask is, I just need to find it. Cool, yes, definitely. So the point is about presence, right? And remaining present, and the movement and all the things that are done are from the awareness of space and what's around and sound, etc. How do you, and obviously it being sort of similar in my mind to meditation, in the beginning that's the sense that I got. And the meditation in the traditional sense, how I know it, is it's quietening, and then you observe. Whereas this one, it's active meditation, if I could put it that way. And so I wonder about the overstimulation, right? So once you've done it, and once you've been it, and once you've participated, what of the overstimulation?
And then we can take, I think, maximum 2.
Okay, I'm going to try to answer that. Lucia had taught us about trying to
balance saying yes and participating and going with whatever it is that is on the floor and whoever it is and whatever energy brings you to the floor. So that, I guess, would be, you know, when you're meditating and you just need to go with the flow. But also she invited us to take pauses and make a choice to take a step back or decide to turn and go the other way. And I guess maybe at some points it may have looked like overstimulation, but I think within us we have learned to also take a step back if we are overstimulated or choose something else, because we have the opportunity to do so. And I guess it also just gives the player power. Excuse me? If you feel, well, it's saying yes to whatever your body asks of you at the time. So if your body says, yes, I want to follow. Yes, if I am distracted and that's the moment, let's get distracted and say yes to whatever this moment wants to do for us right now. But if the moment no longer serves you, then you have to make a choice. Do you take a step back or do you change the moment?
Okay, I want to squeeze I saw two hands, and can we make them super short questions? So I saw this hand, and then that's it, I'm afraid.
Hi, my name is Douglas Mlaba. I'm very curious about the process of selection. I think when I saw the names before booking for the show, I was like, damn, this is a really, really solid selection of artists, especially really fine movement artists of the artists that I do know here. So I don't know what the process was, and yeah, that was amazing.
So I'm going to answer that. So we have an open call for these programs, for our Thinking in programs. We put out a call, we ask for a motivation, a brief description of your practice and links to your work. We received in excess of about 55 applications for this particular mentorship. We then have a panel that looks at those, and then we looked particularly at those motivations to see what these artists, how they will apply that to their own practice. These aren't only movement and dance participants, they are theatre makers, directors, but really looking at how this can leverage and give direction and momentum to their existing practice, how they articulated that. And that's what we based the selection on. Last question over here.
Evening, everybody. My observation is that, as I've heard that this is a lot of improvisation, but it seemed that it was well rehearsed, and that's really cool to see that people can come up with ideas and movements up on the spot to perform in front of an audience. And it was really also awesome to see that even though it is improvisation, it's so amazing to see how people are able to mirror each other's movements and energy and match each other's energy. And my question is for the men there at the back. Yeah, I would like to know, because because it seemed that you played a specific role in, like, your movements were very calculated, even though it seemed like it was rehearsed. And I would like to know what you learned from the past 3 days of learning here, dancing here, showing us your movement.
Dumela, my name is Jaden. So with me, what I learned is to listen and to try not shine, but also, like, you're an ensemble, so listen to other bodies, wabo? And then my takeout to them was like, I'm enjoying to fail. I'm here to fail, so I've been just failing over and over every hour. And then it was not rehearsed, but it was literally pulse fire, what I'm seeing with other people, what they're doing. So, oh, I like that. Let me try go into your story, you know what I mean? And these people are so talented, and I'm blessed to be friends now or colleagues with them. So I don't know if I answered your question, but it was purely improv, and I just had a good time playing.
Thank you, Jaden. So I'm going to, Lucia, do you have any closing remarks, or can I thank everyone and set us all off onto our Friday nights?
Lucy. I just remembered as Jaden spoke one of the phrases that I kept saying when we're playing, which, and learning to be in the moment, is, you never did this before, you'll never do it again, don't miss it.
So with that, a very big thanks and congratulations to these wonderful 13 artists for playing courageously and openly, to Stompy for supporting us so beautifully, to Lucia for guiding us with such sensitivity and expertise, and to the entire center team that makes something like this happen. Thank you. And lastly, thank you to you all for completing the circle and for joining us and continuing the learning through you, through your eyes, through your bodies, and through your questions. Thank you for coming out. Be safe. See you next time.